Hello again to another commentary track, this time for the Three Doctors. So, this video was in development for a really long time. I came up with the idea, the basic plot of this storyline episode, around the time I was coming up with the 50th episode in 2013. Back then, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for my 50th, and I wanted to do the Three Doctors, but I didn't have time, and so I decided to save it, and ended up having to save it until now, so I could actually have looked at the Three Doctors individually before. This is a cheeky little reference to, obviously, the Red Shirts review I did, in 2012, which was the first book I reviewed after coming back from my hiatus. And this is a reference to the short film I did last summer. Back on development for a minute, coming up with the episode, I had started really writing it around the end of 2014, and I had the basic outline of the plot for, the past, 2 years. The basic outline of the plot was obviously, Mike Sano, the evil one, wants to take over the multiverse, so he tries to destroy 2 universes, and it's basically me doing the Three Doctors, which is the way it was always envisioned to be, and that's the way I really like it. I wore the jacket mainly because I wanted a distinct look to go for every anniversary video I had done up to that point, because in the first video it was a different outfit. I wore a different outfit every year. I wanted to make it distinct. I'll probably not wear the jacket next year. I mean, I don't know. Obviously that's a reference to the second Doctor's line. I did the fade out mainly because I didn't want to have to rehash everything I had said as Maverick, and keep the episode relatively short. What else can I think about this episode? So this episode is the biggest episode I've ever filmed. It took a lot of filming. Especially it was hard with my younger self, because what I did was I made it so that my older self and my present self would all have, my facial hair, and then I would shave it all off to be my younger self, which was hard because it meant I had to film everything at the end for my younger self, and I had to be sure that I had filmed every single thing, or else the continuity would be off. So this was done on the last day of filming, and this was, one of the first things I filmed. So the script really, and this part, I think it's my favorite because I like the concept that the two of us together wouldn't be able to figure it out. I wanted to do this in a bunch of different rooms. The problem is I only really have my room. This is where I'm sitting. Is me sitting against the closet next to my computer, and then the computer is, then I'm facing it. It's 2 sides of the room. And this was when I had revamped my future self's outfit, because I had been trying to nail down a proper version, and this was a revamp with the beige pants. And I realized I look a lot like Mark Twain in that respect. And that's next to Iota. That's my alarm clock. That's turned down because I didn't want it to show time, because I always forget to do that. The way this was originally supposed to go, I think, is he was supposed to be in, some nether realm, but because I don't have a green screen, I had to just do, transparent onto the wall, so it was he didn't exactly beam in all the way. I actually learned the trick for this from my DSi. The photo function has a function where you can merge two pictures together. And one of my friends years ago taught me that if you took a picture of nothing and then moved into the spot and took a picture of you, it would make you look like a ghost. So that was the joke.
Hello and welcome to the Literary and to our
So
when I started this show 3 years ago, I had no idea I'd make it to Tuesday.
the review portion was written in probably the shortest amount of time. I did it in the preceding week of filming, as opposed to the rest of the script, which I had done in January-ish, because I had been filming this in January, February. The only issue being that I had to find time to film, and I had to make sure the continuity would stay proper between hair and my facial hair and stuff. So, I'm not sure, but I might cut the music out of this, of the theme song, because I got content ID'd for it. And it wasn't even getting content ID'd for the music when I uploaded it, because I would have just re-uploaded it with different music. I got content ID'd a couple months after the fact, where it's why am I going to upload it again? It's been up for months. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I won't be doing these personalized intros for the next couple anniversaries, if they happen, because Content ID, because YouTube's Content ID system is terrible. Because I'm using it as a parody, but I can't say it's a parody because technically I didn't do anything to the song other than use it under a video, so that's why I used the theme song as the ending credits music, because of crap like this. Yeah, one of the posters for this, was done as a parody of the cover, which I really liked. I was a big fan of, I made that over the course of several weeks, way back when I was doing it. The video is, like I said, one of the biggest videos I've done, if not the biggest, because it took so much filming, and it was one of the videos that it was almost late, funny enough, because when I was making it, I make my videos on the pretense that I needed to upload it on a specific day because obviously it has to go up on the day of the anniversary. So I figured I get it done by the day before so I can watch it again with fresh eyes. But stupidly, on my part, I started the Patreon while I was editing this video together. So when I got a Patreon sponsor, I had to abide by the get it done a day early. So I had to get it done a day earlier than I had planned. So I was kind of rushing, although I knew I could do it because I had edited together my Cinema Snob parody for April Fool's Day 2014. I had edited that together in an insane amount of time. The video was about a fourth edited on March 30th, or the last day of March, and I needed to upload it on April Fool's Day. But, as I've said before, I think I said it in the commentary on that video, I got sick. So, basically, the gist of it is, I knew that if I could edit a video while sick, and I was very sick, I was I wanted to sleep and also vomit, but I edited the video just in one day. So I knew that this video, I would be able to get it out because it wasn't as insane as doing it while sick. Another issue that I had while doing this video was that a lot of the shots required two people, and that meant I needed someone to help me film, and my brother isn't around as often as, I am, because I'm in college, so my schedule is pretty lax, and I'm only in school until like noon, and he's in school until like 3. So I was filming this mainly on weekends, even though I had the time to film, because I needed someone to help me line the shots up. So I would mainly film this when we were both home. So that was another reason the video took a long time to film, because the reason I needed help lining the shots up, it'll factor in later, but when I came up with this video in my head, I came up with it based on my old camera, because when I came up with the idea for this, I was still using the old GE whatever BS camera that I had been using since 2013. And I didn't get this until around Christmas, so the video in my head looks radically different than the finished product, purely on the basis that I drafted it in my head based with a different camera and different angles. Obviously, I was able to compensate for most of it, but it was hard because a lot of shots had to be changed, because there were going to be a lot of shots where it was going to be me side by side, but I didn't have as short of a range of the screen, so it was hard to do, and I ended up not really doing it. And I guess I should probably talk about the book. It's a good book. It's based on one of the best episodes of the classic era, because it's great. It features the first 3 Doctors, and it's awesome. And I wish I had a copy of the 5 Doctors, because I would love to do that one day, but obviously I haven't even done 4 yet, so, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. And, I'm trying to think of other things to say about the episode, because I can't really say a lot until, like, the fight scene pops up, like, the storyline parts, so really, there's nothing else for me to say about the review portion of the video, because it's basically what I've said. The video was a review. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have tried to be less confident, as my younger self. I got that as a suggestion, when, Toby Mobius, read over the script for me, because when I made the script, I wanted to get people to read over it, that way, it wouldn't just be me. I wanted it to be a pretty professional looking script, so I had a couple people read over, and, I really did like that scene, because Mike Sano is 2 people, because he's evil and also a good guy, so I liked putting that in. And you can probably tell, not very good at acting, talking to myself. Yeah, this is done in my laundry room. You can see the water heater and that pile of crap that I only just recently got out of there. That's been sitting there for a couple of years now. And I don't know if you can tell, but I changed the gloves on Mirror Michael, because I didn't like the I didn't like the other gloves, and I was like, does anyone care about continuity except for me? And I figured no one but me cares, so I did it anyway. Yeah, I figured the River Song Future Sonic was probably the most normal evolution for my Sonic, considering, I don't know if I'll change my Sonic up again. I changed it up mainly because the Trans-Temporal isn't actually from a doctor, so I did that. And, This was another scene this was one of the first scenes I think I wrote out, and I really liked it. And like this part, that was one of my favorite lines, and I really liked it. How I had all three Sonics going at once. I think this scene came out exceptionally well. And if you can't tell, that's the portal from the opening title sequence. And the sound is a Klingon transporter slowed down. And then I step through, which looks terrible, but, you know, what are you going to do?
That's it, Mike Sano, your time is up.
And this was another scene I really liked, in regards to this, because this is a reference to Backwards, which if you saw my previous commentary on Backwards, you would remember I touched on. Because I still can't figure out how to make a force field effect, so I figured callback, because anniversary episode, it works. And that stuff there is a hard drive and an iPod dock, basically, with speakers. The thing the ball is resting on is a air mattress pump. And obviously there's my TV in the back. And also, that rack was not there when I came up with the idea either, so I had to compensate. Another scene I really liked. I feel like this scene could have been written better, but I don't know how I would rewrite it. And I had to re-record some dialogue to put in, which is really out of place, but, you know. Yep, and I like... Look how far the effects have come from Backwards. There's my future and past self, you know. I really just like how this video came out in regards to, just like these scenes. And his communicator is a Deal or No Deal game that I cannibalized. So, interesting fun fact.
You guys didn't happen to take that with you, did you?
And the flash drive he pulls out obviously factors into the next storyline. So, keep an eye out for that. Or, well, I guess you've probably already seen the factoring it did in. But yeah. So, and then, this scene was kind of done kind of poorly.
Wait, is that my old hard drive? Yes, he appropriated it from your
I
storage.
kind of, I would shoot this scene differently, just because I don't like the way I'm framed in it. I don't know, and,
You mean this thing? Your computer told me to bring it.
the communicator, is... I needed an excuse, and that's like the only communicator I have. That would have made sense because I don't know, you know. And a lot of the scene is cut up to really cut up to shit. Mainly because the video was, mainly because I'm incapable of reading more than a sentence of dialogue without going, I forgot what I was saying. So, that's something I shouldn't be doing storylines if I can't read more than one sentence of dialogue, but, you know,
What's this? It's an upgraded transfer.
This is a scene I probably shouldn't have done. You get too close to my future self's face, so you can kind of tell he's really young, as opposed to when you're far away, you can kind of imagine. I will say, my hair's short, which is good, because when my hair's long, that wig does not work. Because that wig is a zombie wig that was half a zombie mask and half a wig. So, I wear the hat specifically because I have to cover up the fact that half my head is not covered. And yeah, you'll see the cutting. It was done badly because I kept looking at the script because I use it as a crutch. And the sonic wave scene is the one where my using the old camera was a really big, using the new camera was a hindrance, because the old idea was that they would all show up, and because my old camera's scope was so tiny, I'd be able to make it look like they were all standing next to. It would all fade into each other, but it would look like they were all standing in a line. Unfortunately, the new camera didn't allow me to compensate for that, so I had to rewrite the scene into the way it is now, which is admittedly not the best way I could have done it, but hey, it could have been way worse. This obviously is a reference to Dimensions in Time, where Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor, gave the message to his past and future selves when the Ronnie captured the First and Second Doctor. And these are all clips from old videos, obviously, that I'm sure some of you might recognize. And I like the way this part came out, because it was really just like using... I liked showing the old videos just on the, I just like showing how far the show has come from the beginning, and it really has come. And obviously, the Good Luck, My Friends was definitely Tom Baker. You can tell that this scene, basically, it's the same spot, which is why I tried not to show the bookcase that much, because I really didn't have the ability to like go back in time and make it identical, so I just decided to hell with it and just have them all in the same spot. And this is a reference to the end of the Three Doctors, obviously. I don't think I need to explain that. All of this was done on the last day of filming, where I did it. I don't know if you can tell, like, you can tell that, like, my future self and me and Maverick all have, like, a little scruff, and then past me doesn't. The reason Mike Sano's not in this scene was because I couldn't figure out an organic way to write him in, and I figured, what's the big deal? Mike Sano is doing, and is in his lab somewhere. You know, I felt like I didn't have to explain it. And of course, the, cheeky, you know, the things I say to my past self before leaving. You know, the whole back pocket thing, because how I broke my sonic screwdriver in universe. That was a reference to the Hitchhiker, not the Hitchhiker's Guide video, but the Quantum Leap the novel video. And then, of course, my future self says good luck on Gogular, which obviously is a website that was not created at the time, but is created now, because Toby Mobius knew he was going to be unveiling it sometime this year. He figured that would be a funny little reference, and I thought it was funny. So, and the Back to the Future thing is kind of a reference to the fact that he talks like Doc Brown, which is mainly because I can't do an old man voice right. Whenever I do an old man voice, it doesn't. It comes out like Doc Brown, which is the issue. So I just do the Christopher Lloyd impression the entire time.
What about the other one? Couldn't track him. All we know is he's not going back to that universe.
And
we have it under surveillance.
Yeah, that was. Oh, and this scene was mainly because I wanted to just stop having to worry about hiding the sonic screwdriver whenever I filmed, so I could just leave it on the shelf somewhere. As you can tell, look, it's behind me in the bookshelf that you can see that I didn't even realize until just now. That's funny. I didn't even know that was there until I was just looking there right now.
But there's nothing there.
So, this is obviously a reference to the whole TARDIS circuit from Doctor Who.
At least a really, really close replica.
And it's not a replica, obviously. It's the it's my old one. I just put it there. So.
3 years, hasn't it? And it's gonna get even more interesting.
And this, of course, was a reference to my first video where I sonicked the screen on when I started it. So, you know, I like tossing in references to my old videos that no one really cares about but me, but I like them because it makes me feel better about my older stuff if I reference stuff. And as you can see, this is, and with the credits, obviously, that's it. I don't really think I put an after credits scene. I wanted to do a bit where I had my Mirror Michael go to the MST3K universe from Death Rat to liberate them, but I just never got around to making it, and, you know, I don't know. And that's true. That is the most editing-intensive video I've ever made in my life. That is true. Because it was just wow. It was wow. Oh, I do have an after-credits scene. I just remembered what it was. It's basically a reference to the last anniversary video I did, where I had it open with my past selves going.
Hello and welcome to the Lair.
So that was the commentary. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings on my video, and that might be the last commentary you see for a while, unless I get inspired to do one. I've wanted to do one for Before Dishonor for a while, so maybe we'll get to that next. Anyway, I'll see you next time.